Welcome. Good to see you again. Today we're going to talk about some fractions. I know they may not be your favorite, but they're not that bad. So today let's talk about comparing fractions. We're going to talk about comparing fractions. So right now we have 3/4, 1/3, and 2/5. We're going to look at this and go, okay, which ones, let's go from the smallest. We're going to go from the smallest to the largest. Okay. When we're looking at this and going, something very easy that I have found. So what we want to do is greater or less than half. That's a really easy benchmark, really easy. So we want to look at if it's greater than or less than half. So let's look at 3/4. Well, let's take this denominator, 4. What is half of 4? Well, half of 4 is 2. So then we look at our numerator, which is 3, and that's greater than 2. So 3 is greater than half of 4. So 3/4 is greater than 1/2. So what I like to do is I like to put a little plus sign above. It doesn't say I'm adding anything. It's just saying it's greater than half. That's all it's saying. The next thing we're going to look at is 1/3. Well, what is half of 1? Sorry, what is half of 3? Well, half of 3 isn't 1, but it's not 2. It's in between. It's 1.5. So this one is less than half of 3. So I'm going to put a little subtraction sign there, a minus sign. It's not really minusing. We're not subtracting. It's just letting us know that this is smaller than 1/2. Now let's go to the next one. We got 2/5. 2/5. So what is half of 5? Well, it's not 2. 2's too small, but 3's too big. So it's right in the middle. It's 2.5. So we know that 2 is less than 5, which makes this less than half. So we're going to put a little minus sign, negative sign, whatever you want. It's less than half. These are just symbols to let us know what is greater than or less than half. Well, we got something greater than, we got less than, and less than half. So we know that 3/4 is already over here going to be, it is our greatest number. 3/4 is our greatest number. We know that already. But now we got to come over here and go, I don't know. We got a 1/3 and we got a 2/5. Well, this is where we have to look for a common denominator. Common denominator. So 3 and 5, all we need to do is multiply those together. So we're going to take this side, multiply it by 5. Whatever we do to the denominator, we got to do the numerator. So 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 3 is 15. So now we know that 1/3 is equivalent to 5/15. Now we're going to take our 2/5 and we're going to multiply it by 3/3 because we got to find a common denominator, which gives us a denominator of 15. It's the same, great. Now 2 times 3 is 6. So now we have 6/15. And we know that 6/15 is bigger than 5/15 because 6 is bigger than 5. So all we need to do now is say 1/3 is 5/15, which is smaller than 2/5, which is 6/15. So we know our order where they need to go in. 1/3 was the smallest, so 1/3 is the smallest. The next one would be 2/5, and then our last one is 3/4. So we have our order from least, smallest to largest, least to greatest, 1/3, 2/5, and 3/4. Let's run through one more really, really quick. I'm just going to pull some numbers out of my brain. And so we're going to take 4/7, and we got 5/10, and we got 3/5. Okay? So here we go. 4/7. Well, what's half of 7? It's bigger than 3, but smaller than 4, so that is less than. We put our little minus sign. 5/10. Well, we know that 10, half of 10 is 5, so we know that that one is equal to 1/2. And then 3/5. What's half of 2? Sorry, what's half of 5? We know that that is greater than 2, but less than 3, so this is actually greater than 1/2. So if we wanted to go from least to greatest, well, guess what? We already have it in that order. That's great. It's 4/7, 5/10, and then 3/5. What if we wanted to go from greatest to least? Well, we just work backwards. We got 3/5, then we'd have 5/10, then we have 4/7. Okay, so that is one way that I look at my fractions and I say, okay, is it greater than or less than half? And it helps me really quickly know it's greater than or less than, it helps me sort out really quick. So put a minus sign or a negative sign for your less than half. You can do equals if it is equals to 10, and then do a little plus or addition sign, and that just helps you know that it's greater than 1/2. So this is a way that you can look at fractions and try and order them from greatest to least to greatest. Thanks for joining us again with Wes, and we'll see you next time. Please subscribe, like us if you do, enjoy the content, and share with others. Thank you. Bye.